Hey guys, your favorite absentee cousin is back. You know the one. You don't really know her, she don't really know you. You see her every now and then at a family function, but like you ain't never really talked to her and she ain't never really talked to you. You see her in like Facebook posts made by like older family members, but yeah, you don't really fool with her. You just know she in the world, but you got neither positive nor negative memories associated with her. Yeah, me. I'm back with another speed paint video. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing good. If you're new here, hi, I'm Tara. I draw speed paints. I don't draw speed paints, I draw. Turn them into speed paints. And I post them and then I talk over them. That's not the right order. I draw them. I speed them up and I put them in a video and then I talk over the video and then I upload the video. Okay, that's what I do. If that sounds like something you might like, you should totally like, subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the little like button, leave a comment, feed the algorithm. We're gonna talk about that a lot in this video. I think I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to rant a little bit, and hopefully we'll have some fun as we do that. This isn't scripted. I'm talking off the top of my head, so I am inevitably going to repeat myself. I'm inevitably going to say things that don't make sense. I implore you to, I don't know, have something else going on while you listen to this. Maybe you can be drawing yourself. I have people comment every now and then and tell me that they draw along to my videos, which makes me happy because I like to do that sort of thing. I don't know, maybe you want to clean, just anything. I feel like if you try to give this video your undivided attention, you're not going to make it. I don't think you're going to make it as a person who's easily distracted. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started, all right? Yeah. So, what are we working on today exactly? You may be wondering. I'm actually working on a animatic. I think that's the proper term for it. Just a little short, kind of sort of animation of some characters that I made specifically to stick on Instagram in their Reels section. I've never really been crazy about Instagram's push towards like short form video content, but they've made it clear that it's not going anywhere. And I told myself, honestly, and this isn't just in regards to Instagram, I've just been very against the idea of doing like short form video content because I'm an artist. Like, I do single images, maybe comics. I've never been like an animator. That maybe a long time ago, that was an aspiration of mine. But once I learned exactly how much work goes into those things, I was just like, nah, we're not her. We're not built for that. And the only way I would see artists successfully thriving in like the short form video content space would be doing like little animations, little animatics, little like slightly animated comics, if not full on animations. And I just was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna keep doing what has always worked for me, which is just drawing single images and posting them, just doing my best and everything working out. And then, using the right keywords. If I'm on Twitter, making sure I don't, use actual hashtags, jumping through the weird little hoops to try to get the stuff to be seen by the people who already signed up to follow me. And I was just like, this is fine. It works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then, Twitter has been, dying since the elongated muskrat took over. And I think it's finally died, at least for me, because it's just trying to get predictable amounts of engagement on there has just become a nightmare for me. Like, it doesn't matter what time of day, it doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what words I use. it's like Twitter goes, yeah, I'm not showing this to anybody. Anyway, have you heard of Twitter Premium or X Premium? You want to play with Grok? And I was like, you know what? And I think something snapped inside me. I was just like, I'm over it. I'm over it, right? Twitter's dead to me. It's like, I'm not posting there anymore. I posted, like, the last thing I posted was an animatic thingy. Not the one that you're watching a time lapse of, but the one I made before that one, the Adam and Sasha one. I posted it in like YouTube shorts too, but I was just like, I'm getting really tired of Twitter and I wish there was somewhere else to go. And it's like, oh, well, there's Bluesky. And it's like, yeah, I like everything about Bluesky except the fact that the image quality over there is terrible. It doesn't matter what size you post your pictures at, everything comes out compressed and pixelated and crusty. Kind of like Instagram, but at least with Instagram, you know, I have more people over there, so it's like, I know people are looking at it, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's worse over on Bluesky. I've had people argue and say, oh no, it's actually better on Bluesky, and I'm still looking for where. It's like sometimes the pictures look decent and other times they don't. And I think how you draw plays a factor too. Like if you have a really soft looking fuzzy art style, sure. If you do super duper bold, crisp stuff, sure. But if you're like in that middle, which is where I am, your stuff gets chewed up and spat out and sat on and ran over, and then it'll get uploaded. And it's just like, ugh. And Bluesky is also kind of boring. Like I follow different feeds and it's just the same images over and over again. It could just be that I'm not much of a social media user, but it's just like, I don't know. I like Bluesky, but I'm waiting for it to be better. So, I decided to try to put some more energy into my Instagram because that's like the next biggest place where I have a audience, sort of. And for the longest time on there, I was sitting smack dab around 14.8k followers, and I've been sitting there for like, I want to say around a year. Like it didn't matter if I was posting like art consistently or inconsistently. Instagram only showed my work to people who followed me, but at least it did that. You know, Twitter don't even do that no more. Like, anyway. And I was just like, man, I wish I could get my Instagram a little bigger or closer to the size that my Twitter is. Now I just start posting to Instagram. And I remembered what I kept hearing when Instagram first whipped out the Reels concept, is that, oh, Instagram doesn't promote images anymore. If you want to get seen on Instagram, you got to start making Reels. You got to make short form video content. If you don't make it, you won't get seen. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like I said, I'm not an animator. That's never been my thing. I would draw single images. Maybe if I'm just consistent and I keep persisting, eventually I'll get to where I want to be. And it never happened. And then one day, I don't know what came over me, but I was just like, all right, I'll make a reel. I'll make one of those animatic things that I don't want to make, despite me saying I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna make it just to see what happens, just to see if it even makes a difference. Because I had posted reels on Instagram before, but they were all just time-lapse videos. And something I learned really quickly is like, if you're an artist and you're posting time-lapse videos as your short-form content, if you're not like a art deity or you don't have a super interesting process, chances are they're not going to go anywhere. I know mine didn't. And when I looked at other artists around my skill level or my follower count, it's like theirs didn't really go anywhere either. So I just kind of assumed that, like, yeah, I can't do reels, or if I make one where it's an animatic and I do all that work, it's still not gonna go anywhere. That I went ahead and I said, all right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna force myself, I'm gonna try it. I'm trying to find a sound that I like, and I'll sync up some OCs to it, and I'll give it a shot. And that was the Adam and Sasha video I posted a while back in January. And posted it to Instagram, and it took off. And I said, oh no. It took off, and just got thousands of new people overnight, just out of nowhere. I was like, dang, okay. I was happy and I was sad at the same time. I was just like, man. So it's really like that, huh? Okay. I let the video sit there. Then I went on and I posted it to YouTube Shorts, because they were like, oh, you should post shorts. YouTube likes it when you post shorts. And it didn't take off really, but I mean, people liked it more than I thought would like it. I was like, okay. Then I posted it to TikTok, and I was like, oh, TikTok has infamously hated me. I have made, you know, like lazy short form video content with my OCs. Like I would take like panels from my Webtoon and sync it up to sounds. And I tried the Speedpaint thing over there, tried making like edits. None of that stuff worked. I even made like a sketchy sort of animatic a long time ago over there, and it didn't do anything either. So I thought, I think TikTok hates me, so I don't think this is gonna go anywhere either. So, but I went on and posted it, the Adam and Sasha thingy, and once again it took off. And I was like, okay, obviously this is just like this is like a rare case of luck where I just made something that I guess people could latch onto. I mean, it's got BL in it, you know, everybody loves BL. I know not everybody loves BL, but you know what I mean. I was like, okay, that's probably why people gravitated towards this. It's not because it's a reel or anything, or because it's an animatic thingy. This doesn't mean anything. I'm coping at this point. This doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean anything. It's just coincidence that it happened it's just coincidence that it happened this way. Okay. It's just coincidence that they like this, okay? Now, one thing that I have learned over the course of just being online and posting content is lightning never strikes twice, right? You could make one post that does really, really well, but you will never in all my days has a post following a post that did done well also. You post one thing, it does super duper well, then you overthink your next post, and then you make it, and then it doesn't do as like a fraction of the legwork the other post did. So like I said, I've never had that happen to where I could do two good posts back to back at this, you know. So I was like, okay, that was obviously a fluke, that I got lucky. It's only a coincidence that that video did pretty good. And we're not gonna dwell on it. And to prove it to myself that was just a fluke, and I do not need to start making more of these short form video animatic thingies, I'm gonna make another one. Okay? And watch it bomb, and then I'll know that this is a load of bullpucky. And so I started working on this one. Okay. I'll say it's close to Valentine's Day. I remember hearing that Miku song. I'm like, listen, and another thing, I was like, oh, this is an old audio. I don't know much about this, but I know you're not supposed to use old stuff. Using old stuff doesn't get you boosted or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I made this one. And it was like, I want to say it took me 40 hours of work. It's like a whole work week. Not all at once, obviously, but to put this thing together, doing the thumbnails, sketching every individual frame, working out the camera and all that, getting the subtitles in sync. And I said, now watch me put in all this work and it does nothing. And this is just a waste of my time. I hate social media. I hate how they push these arbitrary things onto its user base so it can make more money or whatever. Anyway, finished the thing, uploaded it to Instagram because that's where we started this mess at. And it took off too. Not only did it take off, it did better than the Adam and Sasha video. So I'm just sitting here like, what? Okay, I got lucky twice. Right? Look, I got lucky twice because no, this isn't the answer. No, man, come on. I don't. You mean to tell me every time I want my art to get seen, I gotta make a freaking animation? I gotta make an animatic. I ain't no animator, but I gotta make an animatic every time I want to get seen. Back in my day, you used to could draw one picture and get seen. You mean to tell me now I gotta draw 50? There weren't 50 drawings in these animatics, but it's like back in my day, one picture did trick. Now we gotta draw like anywhere between 4 to 12 for one post. And it's just like I couldn't deny the numbers. I've been posting single simple images, sometimes couples of images on Instagram, and had been sat at 14K for like I said, a year. And I make 2 reels and went from 14.8K to almost 30K. Like my Instagram has almost caught up with my Twitter at this point. And now I'm just like, okay, I need my Instagram to reach like 30K and I can abandon Twitter for good. Well, I've actually already abandoned Twitter, but I'm like, yeah, Instagram is getting ready to turn into my main posting location because Twitter sucks and I'm tired of fooling with it. And I don't want to have to make reels all the time to reach new people, but at least for now, I know when I post to Instagram, it'll at least show my drawings to the people who have followed me, if nobody else. And then if I want to grow my audience, I know I got to make animatics. Now, thankfully, I've kind of gotten a process for making these things, these animatics. So they're not difficult anymore, but they are time consuming as heck. And it is scary in the modern era to invest a whole lot of time and energy into a social media post, because all it takes is one weird SEO choice and just all your work just out the window. Oh, you posted at the wrong time of day, out the window. Oh, you used the wrong hashtag, out the window. Oh, you wasn't holding your mouth right, out the window. What is that aspect ratio? Out the window. We don't like your frame rate, out the window. We don't like the word you used in your caption, out the window. Being an artist on social media is depressing as heck these days. It makes you really miss DeviantArt, old school DeviantArt. And I wasn't even big over there. It was just, I'm not big anywhere, to be fair, but I mean, I didn't even have a fraction of what I have across social media platforms now. And it's just like, man, we didn't know what we had till it was gone. Gosh. To stop whining for a second, I will talk to you about the process for my animatics, right? So first things first, you gotta find a sound. If you can think of something, there's a song you like, or the clip from a show or a movie that you like that fits what you want to make, you can use that. Me personally, I don't really watch TV. I don't really watch a lot of if it's not a cartoon, I don't typically watch it. And if it didn't come out like 10 years ago before I started focusing on my own stuff, I probably still didn't watch it. So I don't have like a mental library of scenes that I could just pull from to turn into short form video stuff. So what I would do typically, or what I've been doing, is I'll just scroll through Reels or scroll through TikTok. And if I stumble across a sound that I feel like I can turn something into, I'll use it. And that'll be it. So another thing is like they want you to use all these sounds, right? But neither TikTok nor Instagram have easy ways, at least that I know of, to download those sounds and, you know, like put them in an editing software or anything like that. Like they want you to use their like proprietary editing apps, and it's like I don't want to do that. Okay. Now I did used to use CapCut, but I've since moved to DaVinci Resolve. It's free, and I don't have to worry about it disappearing anytime the dusty, crusty government has a falling out with China. So that's what I use now. So what I end up usually having to do is like recording the sound from my computer off of the app or whatever, off of Instagram or off of TikTok, then bring it into Clip Studio, then thumbnailing, then setting up the camera to get the panning and the zooming effects. Then I go back and sketch everything, ink everything, color everything. And Clip Studio Paint luckily has very easy to use animation features once you know what they're for and how they work. Gosh, the phone rang and I just completely lost my trail of thought. To give you too much information for a second, I live as like a caretaker for my grandpa, right? And he recently had a fall and he hurt his back. And we've been trying to set up like a home health nurse thingy to come by. Like I still have to do everything else, but she'll come by, I guess, once every couple of days to check on him. Like I don't know, like she's not an aide, so it's like I don't think she like will help me like change him or anything or give him his meds or I don't know. But anyway, I keep getting calls from his healthcare people trying to get that set up, and it threw me off for a second. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about the process, right? So I remember mentioning DaVinci Resolve. And I think I was talking about Clip Studio's animation tools. They're very easy to use. If you're not familiar with them and you use Clip Studio Paint, definitely recommend you looking up some tutorials if you're interested in them. But yeah, I use those. Once the picture is all finished, or the pictures are all finished, I export them as an image sequence, which is where Clip Studio Paint just takes every single frame of the animation and exports it as a single like PNG. And then I bring it over into DaVinci Resolve, all the little images, and it'll turn into a little clip. And then I put it all together. I do the captions, if there's subtitles or anything, or little effects I want to add, I'll put those in there. And I'll export it and upload it. And I guess this is just my life now. I guess I don't hate making these. I definitely don't hate making them. They're a lot of work, but it's also something new and different. And I do like when stuff is like new and different, but familiar. You know, I'm not totally out of my comfort zone. It's just a slightly new thing that I'm doing. So I hate that I had to do it like this. But at the same time, it's like, well, I guess it's a new skill. I'm happy to have a way to get away from Twitter. And then it's like, looking back, it does feel kind of silly when I think about, like, you really had just isolated yourself to Twitter. There are a lot of people who use Twitter, but you know how many people don't use Twitter? It's just kind of like opening my eyes to just kind of like, you know, it's a big internet, no duh, but it's like, you kind of been holding yourself back by mainly only posting to one platform. Like, you should really be, it's like social media 101 is you post everywhere. Everywhere you can post. But I always would like get nervous and feel funny, like, oh my gosh, I'm probably showing the same images to the same people over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, no, you're not. Now, I do get people who are like, oh, I saw this on Toy House, or I saw you on Instagram, or I saw you on YouTube. And it actually makes me happy. Like, hey, you saw me over there and you came over here anyway. And I see bigger artists do it all the time, like post across different platforms, sometimes at the exact same time. But for some reason, I would always just kind of overthink it or feel like that I need to have different content across every platform, which would be impossible for one person, because there's Twitter. Well, not Twitter anymore, we don't use it anymore. There's Instagram, there's Bluesky, we got YouTube, we got TikTok. Just 4 places. So you're gonna make 4 different types of content every time you want to make content. I don't think that's very feasible. I still am very like salty that I had to give up my I was gonna say my values. It's not my values. I'm mad I couldn't be a stubborn old lady and just stick to what I know. I hate that social media is forcing me to make content in a format I wouldn't otherwise touch just to get seen. I hate being bullied by rich people who don't even know I'm in the world. Like, bro. Gosh. Anyway, I like how the reel turned out. I think it was cute. I liked staring at the individual drawings, which you can find on my Patreon if you want. You can also see the sketch version of the animatic. That's also on my Patreon. Terra Terrific. Patreon.com/TerraTerrific. And also follow me on Insta if you don't already at Tewati. I don't know why I didn't use Terra Terrific for my Instagram handle. Well, when I first made my Instagram handle way back in the day, it was just supposed to be a side place for when I drew something that I didn't think was nice enough for Twitter. silly girl. Anyway, Tewati on Instagram, Terra Terrific on Bluesky, Terra Terrific on Patreon, and Terra Terrific on TikTok. The only place I'm not Terra Terrific is on Instagram. Everywhere else, it's Terra Terrific. Also Terra Terrific on Toy House. If you got a toy house and you like reading about OCs, I put Adam and Sasha up there a couple of weeks ago. You can read little or snippets about them if you want. Okay, actually, that is all we have for today to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this speed paint and little mini rant. The links to everything are in the description. All the other places you can find me on social media. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see y'all next time, okay? Y'all be blessed. Have a good rest of y'all's day, okay? Bye-bye.